What's up? What's good? What's happening? Welcome
What's
to
happening?
the King M.E show. I'm one half of this thing, King.
Hey y'all, it's me, Michelle. How y'all doing?
We here at the King M.E show attempt to offer a real outlook on a healthy relationship, real being relatable,
Entertaining,
accountable.
and loving.
Today, oh, you just look like you wanted my lips.
I did always.
Yes.
Always.
That is the right thing to say to your manses.
Mm-hmm.
Today, we are going to be discussing part 2 of something that we talked about on one of our previous live streams, in which we went over unpopular relationship opinions and gave our thoughts on them. So we're going to continue a little bit of that today. What did you think about the last one that we did in general?
Oh, I loved it. What I also loved is, I will say, I can't remember the exact number, but I think I was in agreement with you for about like 80 or 90% of what we said.
Most.
There was only one that I can distinctly remember I disagreed with you on.
Okay.
But I think the rest I was in agreement. I was like, yeah, it's true.
And that's relationships in general. We don't have to be, oh, you've got to be 100% aligned. No, we are independent. I don't even think identical twins are 100%.
They're not. They have different fingerprints.
See? And we don't even have the same DNA. Never mind, I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go. And I think you're laughing because we might be thinking close to the, okay. All right.
We've been together for a long time, y'all. Long time.
So let's just jump right into it.
Okay.
First, unpopular relationship opinion. Compatibility matters more than love. Compatibility matters more than love. And I specifically couldn't wait to hear what you had to say about this one.
You know I want to disagree. But it's right. Because sometimes for some people, love fades over time. And if this weren't true, then arranged marriages would have no success.
Bingo.
And we see arranged marriages having a lot more success than people who go out there and marry for love. I even saw this reel, and obviously it was a sketch, but it was this woman, and I want to say that she was in some part of the continent of Africa. And she was like on my way to go visit my friend who married for love. And she herself was like dressed up, very beautiful, everything like that, head on heels. And she was walking through a poverty-stricken area, like dirt roads. And she went and she had dinner at her friend's house. And like she was sitting on a literal like big old leaf, eating something from a bowl. And it was to show that sometimes when you marry for love, there's no money involved in it. And like, there's no, provisions. And I just found myself like rolling. I was like, that's hilarious. But like, to be fair, some people, what they think is love is infatuation. So if you marry for love, or if you're with someone for love only, then what do you do when that love fades? You're going to want to leave. Or if you marry someone for something external and that external thing disappears, you're going to want to leave. Like a relationship needs to be built, needs to be based on more than just love, and compatibility is that thing.
How do you handle long-term relationships then where something changes, right? Let's say you're with somebody, y'all are 6 years in. Originally, y'all both said that, you know what, let's do this thing dink, dual income, no kids.
Right.
And then year 6, one person goes, you know what, I want a little mini-me.
No.
I think that if you are that couple, you're doomed. Just I don't even think you try to make it work. I think it's a sinking ship, and you're only going to waste resources when one person wants one thing like children and the other person doesn't. Even though early on, y'all both agreed that y'all didn't want to. Or let's say if it's the opposite direction. Y'all both said that y'all did want to, but one person changes their mind. Long term, I don't think love gets you through that relationship long term.
No, we actually just saw that on this season 10 of Love is Blind Ohio.
Yes.
One woman, and you have to mention that she was adopted, she did not want to have kids because she had this precancerous thing on her skin, thing on her arm, and she was essentially deathly afraid that because she was adopted and she couldn't get in touch with her birth parents, she was afraid that she would pass that condition on to her kids. And that fear, in addition to how she felt as being an adopted child, caused her to not want to have children. And she said that from jump. Yet someone chose her in the pause who wanted to have kids. And it's like, you spent the whole season, like, my dude, why did you choose her when she has explicitly said she doesn't want kids? And then at the end of the day, at the altar, she chose him. He said no because he didn't want her to like do that or like make that decision. And it's just like, but she said the whole time, there was never not one scene where she did not say she did not want kids. So, yeah.
Question for you and the viewers.
What up?
Would you choose love without compatibility or compatibility without love? Given only those two.
Oh, I hate that.
I know. Everybody does. But I want y'all to answer it. And you to answer it. Love without compatibility or compatibility without love?
As I've heard it been said, love can come later. So compatibility.
That's why I stand. That, to me, that one was the easy one. I would choose compatibility without love.
It was iPhone to iPhone, just so you know.
Bet. So that means I did get it.
And you just ain't paying no attention because you don't read my messages.
Next unpopular relationship opinion. Marriage should not be the goal of dating. This one also was another one. I said, oh, I can't wait to hear what Michelle is going to say. Now, when you were out here in these streets dating.
Am I out of the camera frame yet?
Not yet. Keep on
Dang
going.
It. All right, I'm going. Okay, go ahead. I'll be mature. I'll handle it. Go.
In your 20s, would you say that you dated people? Yes or no?
Yes.
What was your goal of dating in your 20s? And I'm being specific about that.
The bling bling.
What were you doing to try to secure that?
Saving myself. Or at least pretending in my mind that I was saving myself. Or, I would get in relationships and I would state that early on that, I was dating for marriage. That, I'm cool to be with you, but that I want to date. I also didn't date a lot of people. Like, I'm a very monogamous person. I don't feel the need to date like 4, 5, 6 people at one time. I'm just like, I don't have the capacity for that. Or to schedule a date with, person A on Monday, person B on Tuesday. Like, that doesn't work. So like, I would date and then get in a relationship eventually and make it pretty clear that like I wanted to be married. When I was younger, I thought I was going to be married by 25 and would have had all of my kids by the time I was 32. Very specific ages, but that's what I thought. That is not what happened. So if you're new to this, if you're new here, that is not what happened. I will be 40, Lord willing, in September. There is no ring, never has been, at least not a wedding ring, and no kids, no buns in the oven, no, ghost baby, no, nothing even remotely close to a bun being in the oven. And now with perimenopause, no ovens
Question.
to warm up.
No, actually, I'm not going to ask that.
What?
Not on air. I'll ask you off air.
Will you remember?
Probably not.
Should you text it to me?
No, because I'll lose the team. We'll just keep continuing.
Okay.
What should the goal be of dating? I think it's just about finding out about compatibility. And we're speaking for people that are looking for monogamous relationships. I know that that's not everybody's jam. I'm not here to push that on you. I'm not going to speak for Michelle. Although
I'm pushing monogamy.
Although we are similar in what we're looking for. But if non-monogamy is your jam, do you, boo-boo?
With condoms. Like, in my mind, I'm a health teacher, and I talk about safe sex and how you should always be safe and how you should even be safe with oral and like all that good stuff. So in my mind, that's what I'm getting ready to do. So let me just set the scene. If you are going to pursue a path that does not lead to, well, that is not monogamous, even if you're trying to, 3 or 4 around until you can get to monogamy, please wrap it up. STDs, STIs, they know no race, they know no gender, they spread like wildfire. So wrap it up. Understand that there are also, mouth condoms so that, if oral is your jam, you don't walk away with any jam,
Interesting. Here's my take on this.
Okay.
What Michelle said, I totally agree with. The thing that I would say to this, I would never judge a person that has a STI, STD, or anything. Just understand that
no judgment.
No judgment. I could not be with someone that has something.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not something that I'm willing to, because you've eliminated a lot that you can do just off the rip. That's one thing for me. And the second part of that is by coming with something already, you've essentially chopped your dating pool by a lot, because there's going to be a lot of people that are similar to how I am. And this is me, like, I'm not coming to it ignorant of the ways that you can get around some of the stuff. I understand that there are things that you can do, body condoms and other stuff, that people can still have that physical sexual intimacy if they have some type of STI or STD. I know what my limitations are, and I would not want to do that. I don't care how I feel about you.
So because I realized I never answered your question, marriage should not be the goal of dating. I think you should have a goal, and I've recognized that for some people, marriage is not that goal. Some people want lifetime companionship, but never to have the marriage again. Some people just want a good time for right now.
I wish a lot more people would say that. Hey, I simply want a good time.
So that's where my beliefs kick in. Whatever your goal is, you should be very honest and upfront with that. It should never be someone's questioning or someone is assuming something else. When King and I first met, he made it very clear that he did not want to get married again. He made that very clear. So if there was ever a time where I'm sitting here like, I don't understand why King doesn't want to marry me, that would be on me, because he has very explicitly stated his beliefs towards getting married again. I can't hold that against him at any point because he was very clear. Now, if he wasn't very clear, if he was kind of wishy-washy, if in, the heat of a moment, he's like, girl, I'm going to marry you. And then he doesn't. Okay, yeah, I have every reason to come after him about that. But he has made it very clear. And I think that that's something that people don't often do. They do not often be honest with themselves and with other people to say, hey, this is what I'm about. But you should definitely make that open.
I got called out by that early on by Whitney. Whitney called me fickle. And I have never forgotten that.
Really? Why?
Because I was that guy where I would be fickle about what I would say. And I was the person who I thought I'd try to tell you what you wanted to hear versus really what I wanted and what I desired. And I had a lot of growing up and learning to do. So this was in my high school days.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant recently. I was like,
no.
What did you do?
No, this was in back in my high school days. She straight up called me out. But I needed to hear that.
Yeah.
I needed to hear that. It was a kick in my rear end for sure. I didn't like it, but that's one of the things that I remember that I grew from, because nobody told me that. But the way she broke it down and said it to me, I needed to hear it.
You want to get married?
No.
All right, what's next?
There was something else about this that I wanted to stick on. We are about to be one of the only unmarried people in your friend group. Is there something that we could do right now that could get them to not ask us? So when's it happening?
No, it's just gonna come. I'm gonna be
Ah,
very, very honest because I will be the only one in that friend group who's not married. Um, that question, it's just gonna come. Like I don't see the guys in the group. So the friend group that I'm talking about, it has 5 people, 2 girls. I'm sorry, 3 girls, 2 guys. I don't think either one of the guys would ask me that question. I think it may come to you. Whereas I think one of the girls, the one who's about to get married, I don't think she'll ask that question like at all. It's the other one who's been married for well over a decade. I think she may be the one to ask. And I think she's going to ask at the wedding that we go to.
please don't. Please don't. Also, too, I want you to think about this. Think about your friend group in general. Think
Mhm.
about my friend group in general,
Uh,
and think about our friend group. People that we've met since we've
we're the only ones
done
not
social
married.
media. We are like one of the only ones.
Yes.
Like those that are couples anyway, because we have friends that are single, right? That aren't married, that aren't even in relationships. Like we don't have a lot,
Yeah.
but we do have single friends.
Mm-hmm.
But of the friends that we have that are in a relationship,
Only one is not married.
only one is not married, but most are, and one's about to be. So yeah, please
And to
don't.
be honest, the one who's not married, you would know better than me because it's your friend. But is the marriage coming for that person?
I don't see it. It's not out of the realm.
Mm. So yeah, we finna be the only ones in our friend group who ain't married.
Please don't. Please don't. Next topic. Unpopular opinion, whatever this is. Attraction can grow.
Mm. I think so.
I think it can. I actually don't see this as being that unpopular of an opinion.
No, I think it is because I think some people today get with people based on looks and looks only,
Mm. Mm-hmm.
and then
Oh.
realize that everything underneath is just shallow how. So I think some people think that attraction is necessary. Like you have to have some level of physical attraction to the person that you're with. Whereas I disagree. I think attraction can grow.
I'm going to say this person's name. Cheese, you are my next victim.
Not, I'm gonna say this person's name and then you say a nickname.
Well, that's part of her last name, but that's what she goes by. So this person I met when I was doing Lyft driving very early after my divorce when I was broke and couldn't rub 2 nickels together. And she initially was about to sit in the back seat, and then she goes, "Hey, do you mind if I sit up front?" I loved people that would ask that because I'm like, oh, this is about to be fun. This is going to be social. This is going to be great. So it was like a 40-minute ride to the airport, and we were just having a conversation. She was married at the time. She now isn't married, but she posted something on her Facebook page. So we stayed in contact. This was years ago. We stayed in contact through social media. She posted something on her Facebook page that showed an Excel sheet of men that she's been dating and like had these different columns and compatibility stuff and notes. There was one person that was 5'7", 5'8". Everybody else there was one 5'10", and of the 14 or 15 guys that were there, everybody else was over 6 foot. Cheese might be my height or a little bit shorter. So I specifically wrote a comment under her picture that said, "Cheese, give us 5'8" brother some love."
Short kings need love too, y'all. Okay.
And she laughed at the comment, and I think she wrote something like, "You know what, you're right," or something very similar to that. But it was one of the things that I immediately saw. Now, why am I bringing this up when we're talking about attraction? I forgot to put it up on the screen here. My initial thing is that if you're looking at men and out of the 15, 2 of those 15 are under 6 foot, then it's like, okay, you're likely attracted to taller men. But here's the thing. Let's say you give that one 5'8", 5'9" brother some love. And then you find out that, speaking of compatibility, y'all have a lot more things compatible in common. he might not tickle your fancy initially because you don't get that first initial, ooh, that's a tall person that I like to have a drink of. But if given some one-on-one time, right, you can learn, not learn, you can figure out who the person is. Now, I'm going to pause right here. I always say you should be attracted to somebody that you're looking at spending time, resources, and things like that with. You should, which is why, again, when you and I first met, yes, I was attracted to you, right? But I didn't approach you on trying to get your number or anything because if you're new here, I wasn't really looking then. But I thought she was attractive. I thought she smelled good. I'm like, ooh. And I'm gonna say this, whatever. You'll feel how you feel. You look better in person than you did on your pictures. That. I was like, oh, okay. This wasn't no catfish situation. She looks better in person. Attraction can grow. There should be some type of thing there. I get it if they don't immediately, oh, let me PG-13 this up. It's okay if, no, I can't even say that.
You wow. Can't even get it out.
Man, you should have some level of attraction. Like the curiosity should be there. You shouldn't immediately go, oh, I think he's ugly or not my type. You should also figure out that sometimes not your type might be
the best thing
one of the best things for you. So I'm not saying you should go out and kiss frogs just to figure out who's going to be the prince of your frogs. Mm-hmm. But you should step outside of your comfort zone for who you naturally are attracted to.
So I don't know if I ever told you this, and this does not pertain to this question at all. Prior to meeting you, like a couple of months before I met you, I was sitting in my therapist's office and I told him, I was like, I do not want a man who has kids and who has ever been married before.
Man,
and he flat out said to me that if I kept that, I probably would not find someone, especially at my age. I probably would not find someone, and I could be missing out on God's blessing.
A big portion of that is this. Nice. Boom. A big portion of that is this. Kendra G has a dating show. Y'all likely heard of the Kendra G dating show. And she just had somebody on there recently that was over the age of 50. She was like 50 or 52. Looked great for her age. 5 kids. Was a lawyer or an attorney. I forget which one, but it was one of those two. Mm-hmm. And there's a difference. So that's why I want to make sure that I say it right. This lady at 50 plus with 5 kids, the youngest child being like 6, gave what she wanted and what she was looking for in a man. And she gave the over 6 foot, extremely high earner as well, all of the things. And I loved what the host did. The host basically said, okay, good luck. Because it was like, why? And he said, why would a man that fits all of those things, why would he want you? Not, and he was like, I'm not being rude. I'm not being disrespectful. I'm not to say that you're an undesirable person. Mm-hmm. But why would that man choose you over
somebody with 0 kids or maybe 1 or 2?
And that was his major thing, was kind of like the kid factor, where I'm bringing on your kids and there's resources. Oh, and if I wanted my own kids, I'm not going to be able to get my own kids from you. Mm-hmm. I found that, kind of interesting and fascinating. And I'm looking at, and I'm listening to her, and let me say this, and I want to be very clear. I'm not saying lower your standards for nobody. You should not lower your standards for anyone. What I am saying is you should be open to something that you might not have normally considered.
Right.
Because that could help expand your available options that are out there for you.
And so to add to that, I will say, even though I had walked into my therapist's office saying, I don't want someone who's married, I don't want someone with kids, this was also back when I was under the assumption that being married with kids was the path that I wanted because that's what everyone said I should do. Mm-hmm. So I also needed to get to know myself more. Fortunately, unfortunately for you, I got to know myself during our relationship. And that's when I, realized things.
I wouldn't say unfortunately at all. I love that you've had growth, and I'm thankful for the growth that you've had. Look, I'm gonna say this, and I need you to understand that I need to be clear on how I say this. If you or me, really anybody, so I'm not just gonna speak about us. If you would have had growth, and in that growth, it would have led to incompatibility,
Mm-hmm.
there's nothing wrong with that.
But wait.
There is nothing wrong with that.
But aren't you like the main one who gets on women who like they're with someone for decades at a time, and then as soon as they hit that menopause stage of their lives, and they're like, I can't be with this man anymore. You're like, why would you do that? Like everything was fine, and then you just get up and go.
That is me. There's nothing wrong with it if it happens early.
But okay.
So what I'm saying is you've had growth. Well, because I think that there are issues. Like if we get to year 15 and there was something that was undiagnosed and then gets treated, like, and I let 15 years go by without seeing or saying something, like I'm talking more something happens early on.
So more mature in the relationship.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Like the example of menopause or anything like that. Again, if you're doing the things that you're doing to treat it, then okay, great. What I'm saying is that if early on in our relationship, you weren't doing the things to figure out who you were, and then like year 2.5, you came along and you're like, ooh, you know what, King, because of XYZ, I realized this and I can't get this from you. And this relationship ended. That's a good thing, in my opinion. It can be difficult. Now, I'm talking. So again, what's different? Year 15. If I were to notice something, but I never said anything, and then it happens, yeah, I'm gonna be upset. But I kind of actually have to own a little bit of that myself for not having said anything.
Okay.
And it's simply a lot easier when you're not that much intertwined. So I'm talking early in a relationship. Later in a relationship, it sucks. And we might have to explore this one a little bit further at a different time. But I still think it's not necessarily the worst thing that can happen. It might be the better decision and outcome, but it will shatter somebody that had trust, that put resources into the relationship and time and really invested in that relationship, just for them at year 18 to go, I need to go find myself. That right there will shatter somebody.
Yeah.
Next unpopular opinion.
This will be funny.
Independence is overrated.
INDEPENDENT. Do you know what that means? She got a A.
True or false? I have said out of my mouth, I don't need you.
Yes.
How does that
out
make
loud.
How does that make
to
you
me.
feel? How does that make you feel?
Not warm and fuzzy. I'm be honest, but I also understand that you don't need me. You choose to be with me. It's a choice, and you are continuing to make that choice. But it's like the hard part about that is when you realize that you are a choice for someone. Instantly, as soon as you process that, your mind is like, but what if they don't choose you? Like, how do you deal with that?
You shouldn't think that way.
I get that you shouldn't think that way, but I'm just saying, like, that's kind of like the natural progression. But no, I get it. You choose me. You make the choice every single day. You're like, I choose Shellbow.
There is nothing wrong with independence at the surface level. But like most things, if you get on the extreme end, now you're putting up barriers for how things could or could not work for you.
Mm-hmm.
Extreme independence will lead to, I'm not saying can, will lead to having some emotional barriers that might be harder for you to be in a relationship with somebody else. And if you're somebody that knows that about yourself, say that up front. I I find myself referencing Coach Greg Adams a lot
You do.
on here, but there's a reason. He says one thing where he tells women that if you want or expect monogamy from me, it ain't happening. That's him communicating up front what he can and can't do.
Mm-hmm.
He's also said, I don't have the capacity to simply be faithful. He says that up front. And the reason why I find that fascinating is because he'll also share, I guess often people don't believe him because he's like the gentleman archetype. So he'll respect you, he will wine you, he'll dine you, he'll show you a good time, he'll listen, he's genuinely interested in the things that you've got going on or whatnot. And I don't know if people hear that and go, ooh, or if they just go, well, I want that because this guy has this and he can do this for me. And,
they believe they're the exception to the rule.
And they think that they're the exception to the rule. He's also, said when it comes to independence, like he's done his thing so long that he can't see himself being on any other type of program. And I think that can often be some people's downfall when they're on that extreme independence level, right? We've often talked about, or I've often brought up, that I can see myself being in a relationship and not being co-located with somebody. You don't feel that way.
I do not.
And a lot of that came from, I was in a relationship in my adult years. Let's see, graduated high school at 18 or 17, joined the military at 18, married at 20, divorced at 34. So most of my adult years, I've been married versus not married. Mm-hmm. Take away after the divorce, you and I've been together, what? 3.5 years. I took myself off the dating marketplace, had one situationship, one small thing. I think I was maybe 2 years. Is that math adding up?
I don't know, probably.
Roughly 2 years where I wasn't in a relationship as an adult. And I don't even think that that's long enough. That's baby years, really. Right? So I got a taste of what it was like to be independent and loved it.
Meanwhile, as far as independence is overrated, yes, that is 100% true. And the shortest version of this story that I can tell, I live in the state of Maryland. And if you've been following our weather for this entire year, you know that this year has been a hot mess weather-wise. We had Snowmageddon, what I like to refer to as Snowmageddon, back in January. And in January, that's when I realized independence was overrated. As I looked outside of my house, I saw every single sidewalk and parking spot being shoveled out by a man at every single house near me. My household was the only household that did not have a man outside shoveling. And I was like, you know what? This is why the Bible says in Genesis that it was not right for man to be alone, because this is absolutely ridiculous. Independence is overrated. I ain't about that life.
Could you be?
Could I be what?
Independent.
Independent in what way?
Independent to where I'm an independent woman. I don't need no man.
No, I need a man. Yeah. I need my man.
Why do I have to do like this?
I don't know why you had to, but I need my man. Y'all women, I'm about to say a different word. Y'all women may not need y'all man or a man, but I need my man.
Unpopular relationship opinion: dating multiple people early is unhealthy.
Is unhealthy or healthy?
I'm sorry, is healthy. Dating multiple people early is healthy.
Early what? Early in your life? Because I do think you should date other people and get experience. And I don't say this in a judging way, but when I look at my students who have been in a relationship with the same person for 4 years, and they're like, we're gonna get married and we're gonna spend our lives together, I'm like, let me tell you, the percentage of people who I know who are actually very successful with that is slim. Like, it's a very, very, very small percentage. I personally believe that you should date around, especially in your youth. You don't know who you are. And you get married at like 18, 19, 20. Both of you are still growing. And women, you're going to mature faster. You're going to mature faster in your 20s, number one. But then, number two, by the time you get to your 40s, when that perimenopause is kicking in and that menopause is about to kick in, you're going to be sitting in this place where you're going to be relearning yourself every single day. And that's a lot if you never had time to explore anything else.
I also think that it's actually the right move. And I don't really have anything different to add because everything you stated, I would have also stated as well.
Mm-hmm.
It is important for you to really understand who you are. And I talk about that a lot. Part of understanding who you are is, I'm not saying you have to give your body up to other people.
Yeah, definitely not saying that.
Not saying
definitely
that.
not.
But be in situations with other people so that you can understand what your thresholds are, what your boundary is, what you will and will not tolerate. And that goes for not just romantic relationships, but just any type of relationships in general.
Mm-hmm.
Work gives you one of the best places to do that. The military and college, two of the best places to get yourself in situations where you're building relationships and getting in different relationships with other people.
Yep.
And you're starting to learn archetypes, archetypes, whatever you properly say that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you kind of get and you understand patterns of behavior, patterns of people, things like that. Thank you. Archetypes. Y'all know what we say.
Yeah.
College and the military gives you one of the best opportunities to do that.
Yep.
Even better if you could get into a college that, like, not like BYU. I didn't mean to exclude BYU, but y'all know why I said BYU, right? You want to get that thing where you're in a different place, you got multiple different cultures,
yes, ethnicities, religious beliefs, all that stuff.
All of that stuff. That's where you grow. Mm-hmm. If you're around the same type of people, you're going to get 90% of the same type of person, and you don't really have any growth in that. So yes, you should date multiple people often.
Diversity matters. Yes.
Like they say in diversifying your portfolio, diversify the people that you date. I did that. If you look at my history, so to speak,
we ain't got nothing in common except the fact that we're women.
Yeah. Like I didn't have a type.
I don't have a type either. I did.
I know people that do. Like when you look at either their kids' parents or when you look at their kids' parents or the other people that they've been with, you're like, oh, you clearly have a type.
Yeah.
It's obvious.
Yeah.
But I never really had a quote unquote type. Many people thought that I did, but no. And
then the moment you meet me, you're like, he doesn't have a type.
Yes.
Because I do not fit like what other people look like that he dated.
Next unpopular opinion. The other person should not be your therapist. I don't know why that's an unpopular opinion.
That should be common sense. Like, you're not my therapist. I am currently paying for 3 mental health specialists. I have a regular talk therapist. I have a psychiatrist because I'm on ADHD meds, and I have a EMDR therapist. So I have 3 people that I go to about all my stuff.
I don't have the capacity to be your therapist. Like, let me just put that on Jump Street. What I do have the capacity for is whenever you come to me, you say, babe, I need to vent, or hey, do you have capacity? And that's important. Mm-hmm. That's done. If you were to just come off and just, babe,
Verbal diarrhea, which is a whole thing with ADHD.
I would look at you just like this and be like, what am I supposed to do with that? Right?
Yeah.
Many people have an expectation that the person that they're with, their significant other, should be their therapist. Oh, I should be able to go to them about all the things. You should be able to go to them about most of the things.
I can tell you everything, but I can't expect you to solve my problems or to help me solve my problems because you're not my therapist. Again, that's what I paid 3 people for, to help me with those things.
Do you think somebody will hear that and go, man, she got 3 people, bro, you need to run?
But no, I have a reason for each one of those. I want to put my arm up here.
You should do that.
Okay.
You smell good.
Ooh. Thank you. I have 3 people for a reason. Like I said, I'm on ADHD medication. And the moment you put in mental health medication or a medication like that, it comes with a psychiatrist because no one else should be prescribing mental health medication except for someone who specializes in mental health medication. I remember at one point I was on the medication from my primary care, and very respectfully, she was a very intelligent person, but that's not her lane. And she should not be prescribing me stuff like that. Excuse me. Same for you. People know that you're on T, right?
Mm-hmm. I talk about it openly. I'm on testosterone.
And your PCP shouldn't be prescribing you T. You go to an endocrinologist for that. Like, that's their specialty. You should go to someone who specializes in that. So one of my 3 people is someone who specializes in medication for mental health. There's no problem with that. And then the EMDR, that's targeted. So that's limited. I probably won't see her beyond this year.
Okay.
And then my regular therapist, we've already declared that we're stuck with each other. So we're good.
What's the difference between support and an emotional burden?
That's a great question. I remember my pastor asked if I turn to you excessively. And I remember coming to you. I don't remember the exact verbiage of what I said to you, of what I asked you, but I do remember coming to you about that because I wanted to make sure that I didn't. Like, I know that I get excited and I feel a type of way about something, and I instantly want to call you and share it with you because you're my person. Like, you're my person that I want to share my good, my bad, my ugly, and like everything in between with. But I cannot come to you the same way that I expect my therapist to handle things for me. There are moments where I'll come to you and be like, hey, is there anything you want me to tell my therapist? Anything you want me to share? Anything you notice? Speaking of which, I have an appointment on Tuesday, so if there's anything, you gotta let me know. But no, like, I can't have that expectation that you're supposed to fix me.
There was you do it often where you'll call me up and instead of just word vomiting, you go, hey, do you have a minute? I love that. I think we've matured in our relationship to understand that that's important.
Yeah.
Right. Because also, like, you don't know what I'm doing at the time. Like when you called earlier today, said, hey, do you have a minute? I was editing a video. I
called you? Okay.
Yes. Because you tried reaching me about the movie thing.
Oh, yeah.
Because I had on my headphones and I was editing the video.
You couldn't hear the phone ringing.
I didn't necessarily hear the phone ring, and I put my watch. No, my watch at the time was on the charger, so no indication that you had called both my phones. Right? I just so happened to get done with what I was because you tried to FaceTime.
I did.
So I then got through the video that I was editing, looked down, I was like, oh, Michelle tried calling me. Hope it's not an emergency. And
hope I'm not dying.
And then I called you, and actually, maybe it wasn't even that time, but on one of the times we spoke today, you asked, you said, do you have 5 minutes for me? And like that right there is important because at the moment, there's 2 reasons for that. A, you don't know what I was doing in the moment, right? But then B, by doing that, it gives the opportunity for me to assess, do I have the capacity? And if I say yes, that is me telling you, I have the capacity. Therefore, not a burden. But if I say no and you do it anyway, that's where I think it crosses that line between support and emotional burden. Now, let me be clear about this. Do you have to every time ask and give and receive things? I don't think that it's fair that has to be something that occurs every time. because in the moment, like there could be something where you're excited to get something out. I was like, babe, guess what? Boom. That's not a thing where it's instantly defined. Oh, that's an emotional burden because she didn't ask me if I had capacity. No, I'm not saying that. It is a good idea to at least practice that, understanding that it's not a if or thing, but it does give you the ability to think about that going forward. And when it's the opposite direction, where it'll help you understand what your limitations are if you're getting something from somebody and you don't have the capacity to be able to take that on. Now, it can be difficult to say no.
Oh, I know that I'm learning how to say no.
I think you have a harder time saying no than I do. But you'll get there.
Thank you for having faith in me. I think we have time to expand on like one more.
All right. Which I think, let me see which one I want to do. We have these, which this one is kind of what we talked about earlier. And I'm just going to put this up on the screen. Some breakups are acts of love. But we actually kind of touched on that. Let's do this one.
Really? That's the one? Okay.
Passion fades, and that is normal.
I would say that is so true. So I saw this one post where this young guy, and I'm totally gonna butcher it. This young guy was asking, let's say, his grandfather how he was able to be with the same woman, keyword, same woman for 60 years. And the older guy with a straight face was like, she's not the same woman. And the younger guy was like, huh? Kind of like that. And he said, the older guy said, like, each day she's going to grow, she's going to change, she's going to learn more about herself. She will evolve over the time. And being in a long-term relationship is making the choice to be with each woman that you see in her. And I thought that was cute.
Cute's one word. Kind of makes me a little bit nervous.
Don't be nervous, King. We've been together for 3.5 years. Am I the exact same woman all the way through that you started dating 3.5 years ago?
No, but in the way that man, you made it sound like that man said it. He straight DMX his wife, where he woke up Carla, Kanisha, Jennifer, Felicia,
Dawn,
yeah,
Inez and Felicia.
Like, what version of this woman am I going to get when I wake up?
No, not like that.
Okay,
not like that. But like we evolve as people. And I told you, there's a difference between changing and growing. And you should want your partner to grow. You shouldn't want them to change, but you should want them to grow. Like, very respectfully, the you that you are today is not the same you that I started dating.
Correct.
And if for no other reason right now, because of the medication that you're on, it is literally impacting your body and causing you to think and behave in a different way than you did when we were first together.
True.
So the man that I'm with today, I still love, but it's not 100% exactly the same man that I first started dating. It just so happens that he's still just as sexy and I still just want to be with him.
What's your definition of passion?
Passion.
Yeah, okay, define it.
May I touch your head?
Yes.
It's that burning feeling, not an STD, within you that causes you to have this deep attraction for someone else.
So how do you maintain it?
How do you maintain it? I think you have to constantly find out what your partner is attracted to, and try to find a way to be that. So little things, and I'm going to make this personal. And I know sometimes making it personal can be too personal, but when I think of us, I think of the fact that you are changing and I'm changing, and I'm a comfortable person. Like, I had someone say to me today that I'm always in sweats. And I'm like, no, I'm not always in sweats or lounge clothes. I'm just lazy and I like being really comfortable. But in order to keep the passion, one thing you said was that my face cards should not get declined, that I should still continue to like put forth an effort. And I think passion fades when one or both people stop putting forth an effort. Like, you choose to wear baggy clothes every single day and to not do anything with your hair and to not groom yourself, to not take care of yourself because you just got too comfortable in that relationship. And I think passion can fade there because you're not putting forth an effort. Like, that passion comes from within and what you're doing with yourself, and then also what your partner receives. So yes, I can do all this work, but are you going to receive it? You receive it, I'm going to continue to give it and put forth that work.
Couldn't have said it any better. That actually is a whole bar. It starts from within, and other people see that. A lot of that also helps breed confidence and give confidence. And when I'm telling y'all, people can see that. Maybe it's because I'm older and wiser, so I can see it. But people see it. Understand that.
All right, do we have like a second to just quickly touch on that?
This one?
Yeah, just really quickly.
We don't.
Oh, dang it.
So this has been another episode of the King M.E show. Tune in on our platforms. You can find us at the King M.E show on all platforms. If there's a like button that we are on, do us a favor and hit that like button. For what Michelle wanted to talk about, let's do bonus footage.
No, you know what I would say? Display it and let people comment.
Okay. Final unpopular relationship opinion.
Relationships are not 50-50. What are your thoughts? I love a good math equation. So do you think it's 50-50? Do you think it's another variation that leads to a total of 100? Or are you an outlier who believes that it should be 100-100? Let us know in the comments. Comment.
Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Thank you. Be sure to hit that like button. We out. Bye, y'all. What are you feeling?